We're so worried about perception of other people, the perception of other people that we may know or may not know. The media feeds into that. And we as people, we don't want to be perceived as something in a negative aspect. However, due to that expectation within our minds, we don't allow ourselves to truly be our authentic self. We are reserved. And within that reservation of ourself, we take our personality and diminish it. We shrink it because we don't want others to think of us in this way. We think of ourselves in a negative way because we are shrinking who we are. Why do we allow ourselves to think negatively to the point where we are not able to truly express the type of person that you are? The type of person that you are is found within friends. You quite literally surround yourself of a reflection of yourself. That's why they say keep your circle small, because you keep your circle embedded of like-minded people. And the like-minded people all depends on who you are today. If that person that you are today is someone who is engulfed in negativity, that is constantly self-doubting, you will find yourself around people who are in the same state of mind, that bring you down, that have no aspirations in life, that are constantly on autopilot. You don't want to coast through your life on autopilot because you take away from the person that you are ultimately meant to be. This person that you ultimately are meant to be comes from your dreams and aspirations that you've had growing up in life. What do you aspire to do? What do you aspire to be? Why haven't you chased after the dream that you so desperately wanted since you were probably a kid? This goal, this dream of mine, was petrifying to me because I never expected to be this type of person. I never expected that I would be capable to step into the realm of being a YouTuber. It is so simple to get in front of the camera and to press record. But the hard part comes into how you want to be perceived by the specific audience that you want to go after. This perception takes you so far out of yourself that you are constantly stumbling over you. You are stumbling over how you should present. You are stumbling over how you think you are seen. You have no control over any ideas of any of the people online. You will always be faced with somebody who is on the other opposite end of you. No matter how positive you bring something to the table, there will always be negativity. And we harp on this negativity. We let it fester. We let it eat us alive. We let it sit there so much so that we aren't allowed to express ourselves in the way that we are meant to express ourselves. The fear that I've had, the fear that I have harbored is not being able to actually connect. And with that connection and being understood, it took me outside of myself with my consistency, my motivation, my desire to continue. However, my desire to continue has never been stronger than before. My desire to continue is something that should inspire everyone as well, because your desire to continue is embedded in yourself. You don't have to watch any type of motivational videos, contents, no matter how much you feed yourself these things that tell you to uplift yourself, bring yourself out of these negative thoughts. It's up to you to do that work. You can hear it, you can write it down. These videos are advocating for you to take the steps in the right direction. Are you willing to take those steps in the right direction? Are you willing to change your character? Are you willing to change that shield that you put on, that protective style of person that you want to be perceived as? You don't have to be perceived in a certain way and think about it when it comes to another person either, because you do not have their mental capacity. You don't understand the way that they think. You don't have the same upbringing as them. These people come from many different aspects of life. and they come into your life just because they click on your video, just because they scroll through and you pop up on their feed. You're being fed to people you've never seen before, you've never communicated with. And it's that fear of that initial impression. That initial impression is something that takes you to a place where you never start, you never begin, because you do not know who you are. You don't know who you want to be. You don't know any of these things. You don't know any of these things because you're constantly nitpicking on the perception. This perception is something that takes you outside of yourself because you harp on the idea that you're going to be rejected. There are so many people, random people, that have made connections in your life that have now become friends, people that you cherish now. And these same people are also people who can in turn depend on you. People depend on something that they can believe. People depend on something that they can get a change of mindset from. This change of mindset can spark so many different ideas in so many different people's lives. This impact that you have from being your true, authentic self can touch so many people that you have yet known to be. We are all living this life together. We all die eventually. You shouldn't limit yourself due to the initial impression. You have multiple aspects of your person that you can dive into, and it's up to these people to accept you for who you are instead of who you want to be perceived as. The person that you want to be today is somebody who tried yesterday. The person that you want to be today is someone who believes that your future self has already made it and your past self has done everything that set you up to this moment you are at today. Do not make your mistakes, your failures, your perception of yourself take you away from being who you want to be. You can be anybody you want to be as long as you put your mind to it. If you want to impersonate, cool. Impersonations are great until you don't know who you are. You can try to be like someone else, so much so that you may perfect your craft, but behind closed doors, are you still that same person? You don't have to tell everyone, not even the internet. You don't have to tell anyone all the nitty-gritty details about yourself. That's very sacred, and I don't believe that should be on the internet, no. However, the person that you want to be today, truly think about it, write about it, reflect back to your past self, your goals that you've set since childhood. Go back to those memories, the ideas of when I am this age, I will be this person. I remember I was 12 years old and I wanted to start a YouTube page. However, I thought I was too young. There's so many children that are on this platform that have so much success. 16 years old, I wanted to start streaming. Didn't stream because I thought I didn't have the proper setup. Later on in life, 19 years old, off to college. Oh, I don't have time. I have to get my academics. I have to get my degree. Didn't make time for it. Now, 23 years old, sitting in front of the camera, reflecting back to the amount of time that I could have had I not been so worried about not having enough, not being enough, and not starting. You have to start. Some point or another. You may suck, but who cares? Suck until you are great. That sounds terrible. Be the person that you want to be without fear.